y'all have 3 kids now.
Yes.
She has 2. He has 1 with her. So she was with a white guy before. So they have 2 white children, and then 1 with him. So they have a mixed baby.
Yeah, 3 kids. Okay. Y'all are obviously both super ass attractive.
He's poly and black
You
together.
want to talk again?
Sorry.
Sorry. You're
I was
obviously
catching
both
them up.
super attractive. Yeah, y'all are both super attractive, super in shape, right?
Thank you.
How the hell do y'all have sex?
What?
Boom. So right into it.
Right.
Shailey and okay. Just we'll say what everybody else knows, but Shailey, you had 2 white kids. Now you have 2 white kids and 1 black kid, right? How does that happen?
Well, yes.
Did you say
how does that come about?
Did you say how do we do that, or how is that?
Well, I know how you did it. I know when 2 people love each other, they get naked. But so my bigger question is, how did you guys meet? And we'll start there.
How'd you guys meet?
I stalked him.
Yeah.
Where?
Wait, where?
Where? You slid in? You slid in DMs?
I did.
Shailey slid in.
I slid into the Facebook DMs. This is before the DM. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pause. The DM song. What's the DM song?
It's going down in the DM.
Makes me think of you in Park City at Sundance every single time with myself. I cannot not think of
No way!
Every single time. But so I'm gonna try to sum it up as much as I can. I was split up with my ex. I went to a bodybuilding competition and he was working there at the other supplement company he used to work for. And I turned into a 12-year-old girl and I just was like, oh, I need a potty break because I have to go walk 12 miles to go past his booth. And I needed to go get water and do all the things everywhere that he was. I didn't say hi to him. I didn't say anything to him because
I had no idea she was even there. I didn't know this.
Damn, bro.
That's what I mean by stalked. I legit stalked him. And so then I didn't say anything because I just didn't know what was going on with me and my ex. I just didn't want it to be in a disrespectful situation, even regardless of if we were split up. I feel like you can go do you. But I just didn't want it to be an issue.
Disrespectful.
So then him and I got back together and we were trying to work things out. 6 months later, it didn't work out. And the day I moved out, I messaged him on Facebook and I told him his body was hot and
I'll tell you, I'm a detail dude, right? So I'll tell you exactly what.
That's Pat too, so I get you.
This is it. So I'm with my other business partner at the time. We're on a business trip to Vegas, so we're on the road. It's like midnight. We're driving at midnight, about an hour outside of Vegas. I get this Facebook message. From her. I'm like, okay, and I look at it. I have no idea who she is, but all the message says is I need to tell you a secret. Remember? And I saw her picture, and I was like, oh, okay. And then
Shailey was a freak.
Shailey's a freak, boy. She's ready for it.
And I'm like, okay. I was like, what's up? And she goes, your body is hot. And so she sent me that, and usually that's basic as shit, right? But anyway,
I'm like, okay, Shailey, like the rest of them.
Like, okay, so I go check out her page, right? I'm like, her profile picture looked nice. I go look at her page. I'm scrolling down. There's pictures of a husband and 3 children on there. I'm like, oh,
look at her. She's like, oh shit.
Oh, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, okay, and I hit exactly what I respond is, so aren't you married?
That's literally what he wrote me back. And I go, so, yes, but no, I literally...
You're like, about that.
I just moved out.
I'm ready to cheat. I'm ready to cheat right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
So that's...
As just 5 minutes ago, I'm good.
Mentally, I'm there. We still have the legal process, but mentally, I was gone.
The rest was history. We just saw the situation, and that's about it.
Well, and I think that's the most interesting part of it is that, from there, to whatever extent, yes, he showed interest in being in whatever kind of relationship, but I think more so than that, you were like more concerned about my feelings and like what I was going through, and could tell I didn't have tons of support through those things. And so I think that he became my best friend, and it wasn't in a fact of like lover and friend type stuff. It was really like he was the only person that I felt like I could fully trust and not have like outside information get out or like situations happen outside of that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love that. So it started out on a good foot from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was crazy. I think that that's why we're in the relationship we're in, but I've never had a relationship where it just like starts off on the right foot and has always, I mean, we've had hard times and hard stuff happen, but our relationship has always been so.
It started out good on a solid foot, and it has stayed that way.
Yeah, definitely.
And I would say the same thing about you and I.
Yeah, we're good, man.
No, definitely.
How long y'all been together?
Yeah. Almost 3 years.
We're going on 4 this year.
I think that you guys started dating when we got married, and we got married almost 4 years ago. So
yeah, so we met we started dating in 2017. So 2021 will be.
Oh well, time flies.
He's like,
when you're
what?
having fun.
There you go. He thinks it's been shorter, so that's a good.
It flies when you're having a good time, right?
Right. So Sammy, you're interracial too, right? You're Polynesian and Black. Is that the way to say that?
Yeah, Samoan.
Okay.
Black, yeah.
Okay.
My mom's from Western Samoa, so she was born on the island, and then my pop's from Mississippi.
That's cool.
So.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay, but wait. So how long have you been in Utah, Sammy?
We moved here when I was like 8 from Cali. So I was born in Pasadena, and then we came out here when I was about 8 years old. Came out here with my mom. So my mom and my pops they're in the process of separating at that time. So my pops stayed out there. We came out here with my mom, me and my little sister. And I remember we took the Greyhound bus. I don't know if y'all know about the Greyhound bus.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yo!
We took the Greyhound bus out here.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were pulling into Utah, all the snow, because I had never seen snow before in my whole life. And I saw the snow outside the window on the bus. I was like, Mom, look at all that salt out there. There's all this salt out here. I didn't know it.
Holy shit!
Until we pulled into Utah, and that was like my first experience ever knowing what Utah was or seeing it. Or
wow. So where did you go to school in Utah after 8 to graduating? What part were you in Utah?
So we came out here. When we first came out here, we were living with my uncle. So all my mom's family lives out here. So I'm very close to my pop's side. My pop's family lives out in Cali, so they're more estranged to me. We didn't see them growing up. So we were out here with all my mom's side of the family. We were staying with my mom's brother. So we were staying with my uncle and cousins out in like the Magna area. Magna, Utah, like west side? West, Rose Park and all that, like kind of out past the airport west. So we were way out there.
But kind of smaller, kind of not, right? It's like kind of a small town, but kind of not. Because like Tooele is smaller, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's nothing special. And we were out there. We bounced around a lot, though, as a kid from as far as elementaries. I went to about 3 different elementaries, but they were all on the west side, like West Valley area. We started moving a little bit east as we got older. And then I went to junior high at Valley Junior High, and then ended up going to high school at Taylorsville.
Okay, so Taylorsville is a little bit bigger than
Are you familiar with the schools out here, Matt?
A little bit, just because my dad coaches basketball, so I've been to like different schools for games and stuff, so I kind of know the area.
Yeah, and I'm familiar, of most places. I'm familiar with a lot of them because of her and because of her dad. So, and every time we go out there, we try to do like a tour of Utah. So the last time we saw you guys,
it's so great.
Second to last time we were out there, we did a tour of the entire state. So we started in southern St. George.
Yeah, we went up.
Yeah, we went all the way up.
When COVID happened, right?
Pretty much, yeah. We traveled
in these Utah streets. Yeah,
we traveled in the Utah streets.
Yeah. So, question: you said y'all been married for almost 4 years, right?
Yes.
And Shailey, you were married prior, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in dating Sammy and dating you or be married to your prior husband,
yes,
Have you noticed a difference in the perception of the way people treat you guys? Or have you noticed difference? Actually, better question. What is the biggest difference from the outside of dating Sammy or being married to Sammy and being married to your prior husband?
Wow. Shit.
Welcome to Island Talk.
Welcome.
So proceed.
I would say the biggest thing is bottom line understanding. And I guess I should elaborate on that.
Please.
Like, how much can I?
How long?
No.
How long do you
say whatever you're comfortable with? Say whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, say whatever you're comfortable with. And again, with Pat too, he can like break it up so it's not like an hour long, or we can make it into 2 episodes too, if you know.
If it is that.
I just think, yeah.
My interest is you guys are obviously in a interracial relationship, right? And
yes,
typically you don't see like you used to seeing like a black dude with mixed, like, I'll put it this way.
Yes.
When I was talking, if me and Tony walk around with my mixed nieces and nephews,
they just think
people are going to assume those are our kids, right?
Yeah.
They have the exact same relationship to me as my fully white nieces and nephews.
Because I have one sister with a white husband, but if we were babysitting her kids, people would be like, what's
going on? So my question is, how do you take that? And then Sammy, we want the same answer for you, but we'll get to you on that one too. Because I commend you on being a man that can take care of kids and also that can take care of kids that are interracial, bro. My kudos, my hat is off to you, bro. But
thank you,
Shailey. Yeah, Shailey.
Well, so okay, my biggest thing I think is not even like dropping like race or anything to it. My biggest thing is Sammy came from a lot harder background where my ex was very, very privileged. Not even just like color wise, but like his parents live in a parade of homes home. Their dad's the owner of a brokerage. Like, it's just like one thing after the next. And he's the youngest of 6 kids, but also there's 4 older girls, a boy, and then him. So it's like he has 5 moms and then him. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, he was really taken care of.
He was very, very taken care of. So then rewinding back a little bit, I got pregnant when I was 17 and I was still in high school. And so then from there, we hid my pregnancy for 8 months, didn't tell anybody. Him and my best friend were the only people that knew. And my mom found out when I was 8 months along, and she found out because I had Googled if I could take cough medicine while I was pregnant, but I deleted it from the history, but I didn't delete it from the deleted. And my parents weren't even looking for that. They were looking for stuff for my brothers, but they found it in there and were like, well, my brother's looking for that stuff.
The fact that you hid it for 8 months, that's a story in itself.
That's
because 9 months you're giving birth. Like, that's freaking crazy.
Yes. So we hid it that whole time. And then, so finally my parents confronted me and talked to me about it. We went to the doctor. We found, because I didn't go to the doctor the whole time either. So we went to the doctor. And, I was 17. I was very educated. And that's why I post so much about sex education in Utah. I mean, maybe I don't post about it so much, but it's so frustrating to me because, obviously we all know how to make a baby, but we don't know when and where that happens in the time frame of like a woman happening and like the preventatives that can happen with it. You know what?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
What made you wait for 8 months? Was it fear? Was it just not knowing?
Definitely. And partially it was him, partially it was me. Like, we would say like, by the 4th of July, we'll tell everybody. And then the 4th of July would happen and
you don't say anything.
No. And then the next deadline would come and we'd be like, oh, I'm just not ready for this. And this would happen and just not ready. So then finally, when everything happened, it was December 1st. I went into the doctor with my mom, and they were like, so your due date is going to be January 17th. So my mom's like,
crazy.
I'm going to be a grandma and
crazy. Hey, I'm going to cut our AC on real quick, but I'm listening.
You're good. And I was like,
holy shit.
Hi. And then the doctor goes, so let me just make sure there's not 2 babies in there. And my mom's like, don't even joke about stuff like that. Like, that's not it.
No.
So I leave and I call him and I'm like, you got to tell your mom, because on top of this, we were in, so Mormon terminology here, we were in the same stake, which is like, there's different wards, like the church you go to, but then there's like 6 different church houses that are in the same stake. So we didn't go to the same church, but we were in the same.
For people who don't know, it's like different cities within the same state.
Yes.
A state is a stake, a ward is a city.
Yes. Okay. And so I was like, this isn't something that we can just like keep quiet and nobody's going to know. Like, it's going to spread like wildfire and everybody.
Wildfire.
And so he's like, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. And he calls me back like 6 hours later and I can hear his mom screaming upstairs, like crying because of it. Then she wanted a paternity test before I had the baby for us to get married because she didn't believe her son would do something like that.
Fuck out of here. For real?
Dead serious, she was going to pay $500 to get an injection poked all the way into me to take the amniotic fluid from the sac to find out that it was his baby. And I'm like, well,
8 months in?
Well, I mean, at this point, it's like I'm probably closer to like
9.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the middle of December now. And so
she's giving birth January like 17th.
Yeah, so finally, so she got over that. We got engaged. We got married before we had the baby. Then we had Cicely January 12th. And then it was just kind of like a whirlwind of survival. Like, it wasn't ever, like, there was no real foundation to that marriage. But when we did get married, it was just always survival. And it was always like, well, I'm going to go do this with my friends and I'm going to go do this with my friends. I mean, we were babies. Like,
I was saying you guys were like barely graduating high school.
Yes. And so I think that that's like the hardest part is like, I think sometimes people put blame on other people, but it's like, are you really looking at like what your situation was and what you went through together or like what people went through? But I mean, bottom line, Sammy is very understanding, coming from so many different obstacles of living in, one, a Polynesian home. That's a very strict home. But then 2, being labeled, I mean, most people don't know that he's Polynesian. Most people just label him as black. And
black.
So I think that on top of it, being treated as a black man in Utah, but then on top of that, being raised by a single mom, because his dad was there, but not consistently all the time. And so it was just, I mean, bottom line in a relationship, he knew, and then he only had a sister. So it's like he knew how to handle women in a different way where he took care of his women, not his women took care of him. Gotcha. Where I think that's like
that's kind of how you were.
Difference in our relationship is where I feel like I'm being taken care of. I'm not trying to take care of him. But then on top of that, like, I feel like our effort in our relationship, which could be maturity, I'm not meaning that this is towards him at all, but it could be maturity for me and for the relationship that it is, because he's had bad relationships too. But I think that both of us were ready to commit to an actual relationship and put 100% on each side into it.
Right.
Perfect. So you said something super dope, and
my heart.
Yeah, no, that story's.
That's like the best story ever.
Yeah, no, that's a story. So, well, it's because in looking at you, you don't necessarily think people, oh, she had a kid when she was 17.
You would never. I wouldn't have even.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't think, oh, this dude had to get on the Greyhound and drive to Utah from Cali in the winter if there's snow.
And
I guess
being young and like
anybody listening
also,
Cash probably don't even know what a Greyhound is.
No, we have a very diverse hood ass clientele, so we're good. No, so okay, Sammy, question for you then, and I really want to know, how is it being? Because I thought you were a black dude. Like in all honesty, I didn't think you were Polynesian at all. You look like a nigga. In all honesty, you look like me. So how is it being a black dude in Utah, just in general, before you even get to being a black dude with white kids?
Came through dripping Aquafina, I'm sipping 15, kept a weapon on me. Flow make bitches, I'm on my business, stack chicken like what it's gon' be. Crew in the cut, hey, you want us, red run when I tell a bit peace. Love is love. Love is love.